we can be whoever we want to be. But what are we benchmarking ourselves against? What paradigm are we shifting? What envelope are we pushing? What bar are we raising? So the number one thing that I want you to take away is, if you want to be revolutionary, you have to take ownership.
Ownership. It means doing everything to champion the cause. And CEEW has been a champion of sustainability from the very day we wrote our mission document back in 2010.
I know that we have achieved a lot in these 10 years, and the type of recognition that we have received because of your work is really path-breaking, I would say.
Everybody in the world who matters in these sectors respects CEEW. First, for in-depth analysis, for scholarly reports, but also for independence. It is not swayed in either direction. Not to please anybody, not to displease somebody with design.
We are a team because public policy needs many minds to work together. And here, anyone can conceive an idea, defend it, build a team, and find answers to their questions.
At one level, ownership is keeping people always at the center of our focus, our research, and our analysis.
Are we aligned to a central theme of what is it that we are trying to build as an institution, which is going to be there for 100 years, 120 years, 150 years long after we are gone? But if you say something, you better do it. Otherwise, don't say anything which you cannot do it.
There's a great requirement for a national dialogue for solar for irrigation in India, and I'm really delighted to be here and that CEEW and Shakti have taken the lead in this direction.
Congratulations for this very big milestone of reaching the 10th year. So I must confess that I commend you from converting yourself from being a think tank to an action tank.
I first became aware of what you were doing when you did the report on global India and global governance. I don't think anyone had done that before, and it has since, I noticed, which is the ultimate flattery, spawned imitators. So that, I think, is proof of how good your work is.
You are now opening a center for energy finance. This is very important to understand the dynamics of investments, the challenges, the barriers in front of the investment, the money going to the right place, and therefore I congratulate you for that, and we are there to support you.
I commend Council of Energy, Environment and Water and wish you all the very best as you become the connect between our startup ecosystem, the venture financiers and the government.
To have impact, regardless of how good the work is, first you need dissemination. I thought Mihir's stories were wonderful. They really illustrated the essence of work that CEEW does.
I'm confident that the new ideas, new solutions and approaches discussed in the Energy Horizon 2019 will help us in realizing our aspiration of becoming a $5 trillion economy with greater energy justice and sustainable growth at the heart of it.
We integrate, we connect dots between issues and disciplines. Synergies and respect drives our research, outreach and behavior.
We broadcast this to you from the smoky gas chamber that Delhi has become. That's not what I'm calling it. That's what the Supreme Court called it in 2015.
At CEEW, my colleagues find that 80% of Indians can breathe clean air if we adopted stringent pollution controls. So here is my vision for India. In 2027, when we are celebrating our 80th year of independence, can we ensure that by then 80 cities in India have reduced air pollution by 80%? Let's call this Mission 80-80-80.
On our desire to increase GDP, which is going to help all our people, etc., etc. But given any level of GDP, can we reduce emissions intensity?
There are 60,000 petrol pumps in India. But I'm saying that if you start thinking about who will take the lead in the ecosystem, in creating the charging ecosystem, will government policy will be one of prohibitions or incentives? These are the questions we really need to reflect clearly around.
There are things that we still need to achieve, but I think it is worthwhile spending a moment to recognize that great things have been achieved over the past 2 decades and particularly over the past 5 years. And if we don't do that, we would be doing a disservice to the efforts from institutions like CEEW. So I want to refer to this as a sort of a eureka moment.
Environmental ministers from around the world are discussing the most successful climate change agreements to date, the Montreal Protocol.
You are an ideal partner and I congratulate everyone. Thank you very much for welcoming me and allowing me to help be present at the celebration of the 10 years of the Council for Energy, Environment and Water, and to talk to you about we can move from sustainability and move that sustainability from the margins to the mainstream. And this is no longer a question of whether that is a good idea. This is the only idea for long-term success of humanity.
We communicate to change. From research to action, that's the full path we traverse for every question we seek to answer.
Our study highlights like between 1970 to 2005, we have witnessed almost 250 extreme events. And post 2005, we have witnessed like something more than 310 extreme events.
I'm giving my special thanks to your research group, particularly the way in which you have already making research of Indian economy, and the priority is how we can create more jobs, growth and sustainability.
It's an interesting coincidence that as CEEW is releasing its report today, we are almost close to finalizing the National Cooling Action Plan. So I think we are set to be working in a coordinated and in a focused manner, and this portends well for all of us. So I'm really happy that this is happening today.
It is very important that we, the youth of indigenous community, write from our own perspective and promote the traditional knowledge and practices of sustainable way of living.
The report of the Council on Energy and Environment and the Food and Land Use Coalition on Sustainable Agriculture in India 2021, What We Know and How to Scale Up, is timely and much needed initiative.
It is for all of you to develop an internal institutional coherence about what are those fundamental truths which you will not compromise.
And coming a full circle, There can be no championing of sustainability without people. A team relentlessly using data, integrated analysis, and strategic outreach to inform the narrative and trigger action.
We are fiercely independent because without independence, a think tank is nothing. But with it, we have nothing to fear.
It's great to see CEEW young, energetic, enthusiastic, excited, and you have miles to go. We have to work at it because this CEEW can become a very powerful, a very influential, a very respected institution, not just in India, but globally. You already are on the way. You're doing it right. I see new dreams in my mind about CEEW. Build institution, leave legacy.